we got good work in today. It was cool to see Jason rolled out at practice, former player. Always want to make sure those guys are welcome. We got several guys making their debut in the NFL tonight. I wish them well. But we got good work in today. We're starting to get into a little more situational stuff. We've got 2 practices tomorrow and then a scrimmage on Saturday that we'll get into a little more situational, down the distance, that sort of stuff. So, kids are working hard, slowly making progress. Tons of work left to do. Either way.
Do you notice any different level of energy, or any? Do you expect any different level of energy after a day off like you had Wednesday?
Oh, they did a good job. I think they, and they needed that day yesterday to. Your body's not going to feel perfect after 6 straight days of practice, but a day off at least make it feel better. And they moved around like that today. I was pleased. We've got execution things we got to work on, all that kind of stuff. But as far as our energy and enthusiasm in practice, I thought it was pretty good.
Can you speak to Raymond Miner's decision to leave the program? Did he meet with you, and how did that just kind of
Yeah,
come
we support him, and I want him to be happy and successful. And, this is a lot of work. And he put in a lot of work, worked really hard. And we support him to go and have maybe a better chance to get on the field in a bigger role or whatever it is that he's looking for. We fully support him and wish him best and want to help him in any way.
Was
Do
he
you know
working
where
at
he's
that
headed?
whip spot?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No is the answer, yes.
Got it.
Thank you.
Do you have anybody else working at WIP right now?
We've got Shagog in there, and we'll rotate some guys through there. I don't know who else is. We're playing some nickel, and you all know how that all is with offenses and personnel groups and all that sort of stuff.
What more can you learn about your team now that you've had a few days in pads as opposed to just out there in shorts?
Oh, I just, I don't know if I'm trying to learn them as much as, we're just trying to execute better and continue to bring some young guys along. To me, that's the, y'all are probably getting tired of me saying it, but to me, that's the focus. There's a lot of proven commodities out there. I shouldn't say a lot. There's several proven commodities out there that we want to make sure are ready to play, but then there's a whole bunch of guys that we've got to get ready to play.
I asked Coach Cornelson this at that kickoff media we had, but when you've had a spring with Sam and a spring with Bucky, as offensive coaches, do you spend part of your offseason kind of pondering what kind of other things you can do now that you've seen really all the challenges they might present?
Absolutely. That's part of coaching is figuring out what guys are good at and trying to put them in a situation to get, to have success or to let everybody have success. What their skill set is, what they can and can't do, what they're good at, what they're not good at. And when you've got versatile guys that are highly intelligent, it helps. That you can do a few more things, move them around, ask a little bit more of those guys because they can handle it, as opposed to guys that maybe don't pick things up as quick or a little bit newer or haven't played as much.
Have you had a tight end quite like Bucky in your time as a coach?
No, we've had some good ones at TCU, but not one that can run like that. No.
Is it fun as an offensive guy to be able to sort of go mad scientist, scratching stuff out on napkins maybe? Yeah, to a point, but you got to reel yourself in a little bit too. You've got to do what you can execute, and you got to realize that as a coach, you spend all day sitting in that office thinking of things to run, and those kids are out taking math classes and trying to get dates and all that kind of stuff. They've got, they can only handle so much. We can all draw more than we can teach, and so you got to reel yourself in, and Brad does a good job of that. Quite honestly, of keeping it pared down so that we have a chance to execute it.
You talked in the offseason. You talked in the offseason now. You talked to Isaiah Ford about wanting to get stronger and coming up a pretty good year like that. Did you do anything similar with Bucky? Did you give him offseason goals that you want to see him achieve?
Well, I just think for Buck, it's for him to provide versatility, he's got to be able to to block and run and go play wide receiver. And, you know, that's a tall task, you know, getting in the condition at 245 pounds to run those kinds of sprints and stuff is a challenge that he's taken head on, along with trying to maintain your strength level so that you can play a lot of scrimmage. So, you know, that's challenging enough for anyone, and Bucky's done a good job of that.
Tremaine's one of those young guys who you're wanting those young guys to progress, but he's at least seen the field a little bit. How have you seen him so far this offseason?
He's been fantastic. Great worker, great person. In my opinion, he has a really, really bright future. Couldn't be happier.
How important is it for him to really come along since you guys are a little thin right now at linebacker?
Yeah, you know, his development, you know, in the nuances of playing that spot, you know, it's a little bit more than maybe it used to be. We just run and tackle the guy with the ball. There's just a little, you know, what offenses are doing and that sort of stuff. And I've seen him take steps forward in that. And, you know, I mean, it's incredibly important. I mean, he's a big part of what we're trying to do. And, you know, as you alluded to, our depth's not fantastic there.
Having Brandon Faison back in the secondary, what does that add to you guys?
It has a lot of dimension to the defensive backfield right now. You know, we have different options to go different ways, so we're just filling it out, seeing who's going to play right now.
He burst onto the scene, you know, 5 interceptions as a freshman, and then he dealt with all those injuries. As a teammate, you kind of feel for a guy like that who has such a big start and then.
Yeah, you do. You know, the guy he had an outstanding freshman year, you know, and just to have injuries like that, you know, you just feel for him, and they kind of came back to back. So, you know, you just stand by his side as a teammate. Just can't wait to get back on the field with us.
Everybody changes, obviously, as you get a little older, you're playing a little bit more. But have you seen his game change from how you remember the way he was? Just is he more cautious, or does he play differently now just because he's dealing with some things physically? Or
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I feel like he's the same player. I feel like he's just trying to get back out there.
You guys are working left corner, right corner this year as opposed to boundary and field like you did in the past?
Right now, yeah, I would say so. Now,
What's the big difference there? How does that help the defense?
It helps without having to change, you know, having guys change all around. So with the whole up-tempo offenses that teams are doing now, it helps out a lot instead of having to flip the whole entire field.
was it also a point just to kind of get some flexibility at those cornerback spots, so maybe you could switch a little bit if you had to?
Yeah, it does the same as well. You know, it helps guys learn different positions, so it has a lot more flexibility, even with the second unit. You know, so when those guys can do the same on both sides, it helps out a lot.
Do you think that restricted you guys a little bit back there in previous years because you were designated to play field or boundary and that's it?
No, I wouldn't say so, because we had a lot of guys that
Go
turn
down,
out,
yeah.
you know, just make outstanding, All-American, going to the next level, so I wouldn't say so.
Is free safety on Rover still the same as it was in the past?
Yeah,
Okay.
just about.
How comfortable does Terrell look now that he's had some time at Rover and kind of settled in there?
He looks comfortable right now, pretty decent.
What's your communication with him like on the field? You guys have a pretty good rapport. Is that still being developed?
I feel like right now it's there. I mean, that's the only safety I have to play with, you know. But at this point, so I mean, I feel like off the field, on the field, our communication is great.
Does Dion look any better back there?
Yeah, he looks real good back there. Dion looks real good. I didn't know he had it in him, but
Do you have to take him aside at all, or is he kind of natural? I mean, not naturally, but is he kind of jumped in?
I feel like we give him pointers here and there, and he goes with it. But I mean, from the physicality part, you know, or just knowing where to be in the right spot, it comes kind of natural to him. So I mean, at times, you know, we stay together, so it's at times it's like God telling him something or different things, but like to the exact details of certain things, he doesn't. Sometimes he might not know things, but like I said, from the physicality standpoint and just knowing where to be, like he's ahead of the ball right now.
You say you didn't know he had it in. Were you skeptical a little bit going in? Did you say how easily can he go to this side of the ball and kind of thrive?
No, it wasn't that. It was just, I guess, seeing the guy flip over his third year. So just third, fourth year, he's trying to figure out how is he going to be. But I mean, he's doing good.
From the perspective of the secondary, what's your take on how the quarterbacks are performing so far?
They're doing good, but I mean, as to who's going to be the guy, not sure.
You've seen, I don't know how many, what kind of reps the true freshman kids get, but your older guy now, as Pete mentioned, I mean, are you seeing one of the younger guys kind of head and shoulders above any of the others out of the true freshmen?
True freshman on defense.
In the secondary especially.
Secondary especially, I say I like Reggie Floyd. He showed a lot of explosiveness. So I like him. I feel like he's gonna be a hungry guy when his time comes.
How beneficial was it for you last year to get those couple starts in, and now how much more along do you feel heading into this season?
Oh, it was definitely beneficial. Just me alone, just being on a college field, getting some of that experience, it's definitely going to be good for me for this upcoming season, so I'm excited about it.
What's it like to be coached directly by Coach Foster, and then what's your relationship with him like?
Oh, it's great. Anytime you get coached by a guy like that, you got to take advantage of it. So, I've been taking advantage of it ever since I've been here. So it's definitely good. He's definitely going to be tough on you. That's just because he's pushing you to be the best player that you can be. So I'm definitely honored for it, and I'm going to ask him just to get the best out of him.
Have you seen a change in maybe the way he works with you because of where you are on the depth chart now as opposed to maybe a year ago? Was he a little more forgiving of things? Is he tougher on you now?
Coach Foster, he's always been the same. He's going to coach you up just to be the best player you can be. So, I don't say, he's not going to treat one guy different than the other guy. He treats us all the same. He just wants to get the best out of all of us.
Is there a rapport you have to kind of develop with Matuapuaka? I mean, is that something you have to develop over time to kind of learn how to play side by side?
I mean, definitely. Andrew, he has a little bit more experience than me, so, every now and then he helps me out, making sure that I'm in my correct spots and, making sure we're on the same page. But, you want guys like that, guys with experience that you can look up to, that knows what's going to happen in the game and knows what Coach Foster expects. And so, I'm just honored to play beside Andrew. He's a great guy, and I'm just looking forward for the season.
Is there less of that sort of correcting going on than there was in the spring when you were still sort of kind of
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's less now. I've been getting my plays down pat. I've been trying to make sure I have my side right. So, I won't have to have Andrew, stressing about his side. And then, I just want to make sure I have my part right.
How long did it take you to learn to pronounce his last name? Or you just call him Andrew?
Yeah, I just call him Drew, so, I'm not even sure.
You been in touch with your brother at Maryland at all, and how are things going for him?
Yeah, things are going well with him. He's been busy with camp. I've been busy with camp, so, we talked. After meetings at nighttime, he said everything was going well. So he's just preparing for a season just like I am.
But you do keep up with him daily? I mean, it's texts and stuff like that pretty much?
Oh,
or?
yeah, definitely. He is my brother.
Right,
So
yeah.
I make sure, we stay in touch with each other. He's doing well. He calls me and my brother. So, just checking up on us.
Yeah.
How weird is it not having him around for this camp?
Something I had to get used to, but, you just got to do what you got to do sometimes. And like I said, we talked to each other before both of our camps started, wishing each other the best, just telling each other just go out there, just do the best you can, just get ready for the season.
How much more prepared do you feel this year after you've been able to spend the whole offseason in the strength and conditioning department?
Oh, Coach Hillgray, he's definitely doing a great job, him and all his staff. I feel like they've been conditioning us well. Our strength is up. Then we're prepared to go out there and just play good football this year.
What's your weight up to now?
236.
Okay.
How do you feel like your game has progressed on the field since the spring?
I feel like I'm getting my keys down packed a little bit more. Those are the minor things. You just can't play football if you don't know what you're doing. So I feel like I've been watching more film, knowing my assignments more.
Is there a time in August where you get, practice just becomes monotonous and you really want to get the season started, or do you kind of have to block that out?
You always gonna be ready to play football. You always gonna be ready for the season to start. But right now my main focus is just getting through camp. I'm not looking past that. I got to take each day one at a time. So right now my main focus is the next day.
How much does it help your development to grow up in the household with a head coach?
Oh, it definitely helps me a lot because I can talk to my dad, about anything, honestly. He tells me little details, little things that I should do, It could be as simple as hand placement, so definitely take advantage of that.
How big of an impact did Deion Clark have on you last season, learning the backer position?
Great impact. A guy with experience like Deion, him being a senior, I asked him a lot of questions. I know he's probably got tired of me sometimes, but it was just me trying to, get my things down pat, and he definitely helped me out a lot.
How much did it help that Coach Foster, so many different coaches, we've asked other guys, but how much did it help you, Coach Foster, staying and what you learned last year? Has it changed much this year?
No, it hasn't. That was definitely helped me out a lot because, I was in the meeting rooms all times last year, so the things are, starting to get repetitive now. So I've heard things last year, so this year I was like, okay, I understand what he's saying now. So things are just starting to click now to me, so definitely helped me out a lot for this upcoming season.
All right, forward again.
So, did you get a sense from Coach Cornelson that he's pretty excited about the things you can do? And Sam, you've got some guys that are like really versatile. Do you get the sense that Coach Cornelson's pretty jacked up about what he can do with you guys?
Yeah, I'm real confident that he knows how to use. Like you said, we got a lot of different type of players to utilize. Sam, myself, Isaiah, Cam. We got some young tight ends, Tremaine. We got weapons all over. So it's like pick your poison. So I think he knows how to utilize us.
Coach Fuente was saying that he has to make sure not to go too crazy with throwing all this stuff at you guys because it's got to be plays you can memorize and run. How much better are you at kind of learning plays now as opposed to when your career started?
I'm more comfortable with it. It's different from the last offense, but after the whole spring and also the whole summer, it helped me transition into this new offense, and I feel like it was a smooth transition, and I feel like I'm learning it better every day.
This is obviously different offense, different style. Did you have any physical goals in the offseason to better prepare to play in this kind of offense?
I'm gonna have to park that one.
Have you played any in like a H-back kind of setting, Bucky, or have you still been more split out? Or just as far as differences, has it been a big difference?
It's not more of a right now. I'm in the receivers, but they still, like you said, I still play H-back a lot, and it's just learning it. It's not as hard as it once was when they first got here, but after this whole summer, it's definitely a lot smoother.
Some of the players have said that the verbiage is a little less complicated than it was in the past. Is that how you see it also?
Yeah, definitely. A lot more simple, but it's still you have to actually read your plays, take notes. Our last offense, you have printouts of the plays. This one, you have to draw every play, but it helps you learn drawing, writing stuff. All it helps you memorize it better. So I think it's helping me a lot.
Coach Fuente said, it's a hard spot for you because you need to be fast to play like a receiver and strong to play like a blocker. Is that a challenge to kind of balance how big you get versus how fast you want to be?
I just do what Coach wants me to do. It was a challenge this summer with workouts. I run with the receivers and I lift with tight ends and linemen, but I feel like I can do anything the coach asked me to.
What? Go ahead.
They gave you the harder of, in other words, they made you run with the fast guys and lift with the big guys. That's got to be tough, no?
Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely a tough summer, but I think it's going to definitely pay off.